Back here on Sportsline, we just heard from the Belmont women's basketball team. Head coach Bart Brooks, stars Jenny Roy, Sally McCabe, kind enough to come into studio yesterday to be a part of the Electric Power Company Sunday Sports Central. Great energy, presence after storming back in the final 15 seconds to tie, force overtime, and then win the OVC title. They continue to roll. 46 consecutive wins in the OVC and into the NCAA tournament for the third consecutive year. Last year they nearly beat Kentucky. Watch out for the Bruins this year. That's all I'm going to say. I don't think anyone wants to face this team because they're experienced. They can really shoot it. And after Saturday, you're never going to want to count them out. An incredible run on the women's side at Belmont. The run on the men's side under Rick Byrd has been much publicized because it has been so dramatic and profound at the mid-major level over the last decade or so. As we said earlier in the program, they were in that title game in the Atlantic Sun against Lipscomb in 2006. Neither school at that point had been to the NCAA tournament since moving into the NCAA Division I. Belmont ends up winning a game. It was trailing late in overtime. They go on to win 3 consecutive Atlantic Sun titles at that point. And then they move into the OVC and just haven't really skipped a beat. 2009, they did not win either a regular season or a conference tournament title in the Atlantic Sun. But from 2006 through 8, they won the conference tournament every year, had some regular season titles in there. And then 2010 through 2017, they either won a conference regular season or tournament title every single season, whether they were in the ASUN or since they've moved into the Ohio Valley Conference. Just a remarkable run of dominance and consistency from Rick Byrd and his program, but that came to an end on Saturday night. The Bruins edged out by a game by Murray State in the regular season. It was 1-2 in the OVC final. It was a battle into the second half, but Murray State put the foot down in the second half. A 31-10 run to end the game, 68-51 the final. The Racers are dancing for the first time since 2012. Belmont headed to the postseason somewhere, but it's not going to be the NCAA tournament. Probably not going to be the NIT. More likely a CBI bid for the Bruins. But what an incredible run. Another great season with 24 wins, but just not enough on Saturday night. Here is Rick Byrd, disappointed, but also very reflective and appreciative of the effort, especially of his seniors, after the game on Saturday night in Evansville.
Thanks. Sure. Obviously, the congratulations big time Murray State. It's hard to win both the regular season and the tournament championship, and they were the best team in this conference this year, and so I'm happy for Matt. He's done a really good job with his team. They've got good players. They do a lot of good things, and they certainly, if they didn't outplay us, he certainly outcoached us tonight. So you know, if we're not knocking threes down, then we're not going to beat a whole lot of good teams. And they had plenty to do with it, but we also just didn't have our shooting night. And then when they went on their little blitzkrieg right there, we forced bad ones and took bad shots. And they did a nice job defending a lot of things we wanted to do. We did a really poor job of defending their sort of two-man game at the top with Miller popping back, and so we just you know, we couldn't guard Stark. He didn't even shoot it good from 3, but he killed us on that particular action, either scoring it at the goal or kicking it back to Miller for wide open shots. We didn't do what we're supposed to do, and that's 2 really good players that are hard to guard. I'm really proud of our team. None of us are proud of our performance in the second half in particular, but love our team, love our guys. Totally appreciate the way they represent our school. And I do want to say nobody told me anything about staying out there, and I guess we had a couple of guys make all tournament. I had no idea. If we were supposed to be out there, I apologize. I wouldn't leave the floor in a million years just because we lost. I'd stay out there and watch them cut the nets down if that's what we're supposed to do. It had nothing to do with it. I just wasn't told. that was going to happen. So my apologies to the league and to Murray State if it looked like we were sore losers, because we were losers, but we're not going to act that way.
Rick, speaking of being proud of your team, I feel like you got a good shot at getting that team.
I don't know enough about it, Mike. My first gut reaction is that it's really tough for a mid-major to get an at-large NIT bid. Almost always goes to the Power 5 conference teams. You know, we had a good year, and we had some quality wins and some quality close losses to very good teams. If that counts, I think people could look at it and say that I'm disappointed in the margin. We let them just, like I say, I don't know what this last 7 minutes was, but it wasn't very close, and made the score look, frankly, I don't know if I can say worse than it was. It was a good basketball game for a long time, and then it was a really bad one for the last 7 or 8 minutes.
It was 31-10 in that stretch, but
thanks a lot, Steve. We got double figures out of it, didn't we?
What was the key that switched there? Did they do something different defensively, or
they started switching Monze's ball screens, so we weren't able to turn the corner and make something good happen coming off of that screen. In retrospect, we should have been setting more screens with our 5-man instead of him, but they weren't doing that early. And Monze shot the ball so well all year, but particularly last night, that we figured if he set ball screens, that they wouldn't help very long on the ball handler, and we could therefore turn the corner and either score it or create rotation and kick it out or dump it. And you saw Kevin make an awful lot of nice drives that way. And but we also ran a lot of stuff to get 3-pointers. Monze was 1 for 10. He's better than that. You know, he's not 9 for 11 like he was last night, but he's better than 1 for 10. And 6 for 28's not going to win you many games. So, again, I don't know. That's 22 misses. I'm going to bet you, if we watched it, that 16 of those misses were shots we'd take any time, and we just, you know, we didn't make them tonight. And you got to against a good team. We have to against a good team. The games we've lost this year with any kind of a margin like this one have been poor shooting nights. And we just do not have an inside post presence. And if y'all got an offense that works, besides trying to create a lot of rotation and shoot threes, then email it to me or something. Okay.
Dylan picked up his quick
yeah.
fouls in the first half. After that, was it tough to kind of get him a rhythm? He only had 7 attempts tonight.
Yeah, I don't know about that. You know, Dylan passed up some early threes. But Dylan's a great 3-point shooter, and he had a stretch in the year 6-7 games ago where he did that too much and like he wasn't confident. But gosh, I've been watching him shoot here for the last 2 weeks, and he's been shooting it great. And I don't.
If you